On today's Buckeye Roast, the AP poll is out. Ohio State obviously number one, but how did things shake out behind them? We're also looking at a weekend full of recruiting wins, plus some of the best photos and moments from the community at Saturday's win over UCLA. Plus, Q shares his thoughts, and we'll check in on this week's over-unders and bold predictions, from Texas A&M collapse to James People breaking out, at least a little bit. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
I call a shot. I'm with the murder team. Call a cop. We in the building. Y'all are not. You showing the paper, you gon' ball or not. Jump my balls.
Good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski Q. How you doing?
Not bad. Another solid weekend. All weekend of football, some crazy games, some good weather. Got to use my Polaroid this weekend as well, so got some shots on that, so they work. All good. Can't complain. How are you?
Doing well. The Buckeyes are 10-0, so I can't complain. I mean, it's kind of hard doing these shows. I don't know what to do. We used to have like a regimen of coming on and complaining. These Buckeyes, they don't give too much to complain about these days.
Yeah, but we know how to nitpick, so they'll be fine.
Absolutely. Q, we normally have a question, a stat. Today, we have both. I wanted to start with this one. I saw this on the timeline today, and it was a joke about Devontae Adams having a Taco Bell in his house. It says CeeDee Lamb spends $1.3 million on his body each year and has 1 touchdown this season. Devontae Adams has a Taco Bell installed in his house and has 9 touchdowns this season. Think we can see who made the better investment. Q, obviously, this is a reference to the Devontae Adams Taco Bell campaign that is ongoing, but it made me ask the question, if you could have any fast food restaurant in your house 24/7, what would your pick be?
Oh, that's a good one. Oh God.
I'm so fat. Like Q, this took me all day to settle on.
Man, I might go In-N-Out. I mean, I think a burger and fries is always necessary. And I go there. There's one down the street. There's like a few down the street. So I go there a decent amount. I eat a lot of fast food, but it's like that one. I can always use a burger and some fries. So that one worked for me. It's better than McDonald's. So Burger King for me. So if I'm getting a burger, I'll go to In-N-Out.
So for the majority of the day, I had settled on McDonald's because I was like, you can't go wrong. Like, you got breakfast, like you have all of the things. You just can't beat fresh McDonald's fries. You know what I mean? Nuggets are a classic. But then as the day went on, I was like, you know what? I think I would want a Sonic. It gives me a mix of different things. I could have tots. I could have fries. Endless options for drinks, great ice cream, the greatest French toast sticks. So I think Sonic would be my go-to.
Sonic is a good choice. I mean, I also say, Taco Bell is not a bad choice since they introduced Taco Bell breakfast.
Are you a plumber?
I'm just saying, like Taco Bell, like their breakfast crunch wraps are pretty fun. They're better than what they have at dinner. I think their breakfast is pretty. And I can always
there's no way I'm getting breakfast from Taco Bell.
Just say, yeah, knock it till you try it.
and I feel disrespectful because I am a Wendy's lover. Shout out to Columbus, but it's just couldn't do it.
Yes, it's solid. But I think I'll go in. I thought about Canes, but I'm like, their chicken is so bad that I'll get tired of it.
It's not even, bro. I thought Canes was almost in my choice just for the sweet tea and the Texas toast. Like I'd be going to the counter and be like, give me a jug of tea and 6 slices of toast, cold the chicken. Extra butter, please.
So if anybody has had Canes, this is how I know how bad.
If anyone has Canes, bro, we're doing a
Okay.
podcast for Ohio State fans. There's Canes blood running through their veins, or Canes sauce running through their veins.
Sauce is mixed in by now. So one time I go to Canes, right? I order, the girl at the counter, she's fumbling and she's like, "Wait, did you have this?" Yeah, I knew she was going to screw it up because she asked me if I had a different drink, and I was like, no, I had the Arnold Palmer. Of course, you got to get the Arnold Palmer and go to Canes. So she hands me my meal. So I'm like, all right. She's like, no, I got it. So I don't check it like an idiot. I should have. So I get home, all right? Get home, open up my Canes. Got my, 3-finger combo. What is the sauce? Not the Canes sauce. Not the sauce people go to Canes for. Some asshole out there ordered like honey mustard. And I'm like, is this honey mustard? So I'm like, I'm not eating. I don't like honey mustard. So I try to eat the chicken without the sauce. Ron, it was the worst chicken I think I've ever had. Like without the sauce.
And there goes our Cane sponsorship.
Bro, it's so bad. We'll just get another one. It's so bad without the sauce. That sauce, elite. Without the sauce, it's some of the worst chicken you can have.
I'm not going to double down on great questions for this morning, so I'm going to let you and the audience think about this one for tomorrow and a little preview. You can dispense a condiment from each one of your fingers. Which would you use for each finger? So tomorrow, think of your top 5 condiments. If you can dispense them from your fingers, which 5 would you install for the rest of your life? Spoiler alert, I'll give you one of mine. Hugh just shit on it, and it's honey mustard. How dare you?
Well, I'll give you a preview. One is definitely some like hot sauce. That way somebody tries to rob me. It's really over.
Oh, cute. Okay, well, see, and I knew this would go off the rails the second that the two of us started talking about food. So I came prepared with a football stat to get the show back on the rails before we go to the full segment. Q, our guy Tony Gerderman had a tweet. I mean, he kills it with the stats. Like, I used to have to search high-low for a stat of the day, and now it's the stat of the day presented by Tony Gerderman on the Buckeye Roast. It feels like he had this stat yesterday. Through 10 games in 2024, Sawyer, Tuimoloau, Hamilton and Williams had 121 tackles, 20.5 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks. Through 10 games in 2025, Kenyatta Jackson, Caden Curry, Tuimoloau, and Caden McDonald have 123 tackles, 27.5 tackles for loss, and 14.5 sacks. Q, is this surprising to you?
I wouldn't necessarily surprising, but it is a very impressive stat. I mean, you think about the Ohio State defensive line. I think when people think of this front, I mean, Arvell Reese is so disruptive that it's like, oh, we got Arvell Reese. He gets all the sacks. Like, he's tackling everybody out there. You just think reflection of last year, the stat-wise, this defensive line is outperforming the one from last year. Now, the reason I don't think it's surprising is because I argued with somebody about Dylan Stewart over last year, and I was like, well, through the regular season, I thought Dylan Stewart was a better defensive end than the ones we had, and they turned it up in the playoffs. He was like, oh, they're not. Like, they were like, yes, they were good in the playoffs. They went on like a historic run where they were getting like 3 sacks a game each during like this playoff run. Like, they were dynamic. They didn't play like that during the season. So this adds a little bit to that of like how much they turned it up. Now Hamilton and Williams inside were dominant all through the year. But, I mean, I think it's really impressive that you look at this group here and you're like, wow, we're not talking really about them like we did of like guys last year. Definitely rankings add into that. But, I mean, they have had, like you said, everybody has a game of the week. And it's like, well, whose games are going to be this week? And they have all been dominant. So they're putting up really good stats, outperforming 4 pros from last year.
Yeah, it's crazy to see this production. We've talked about this a couple times on the show about how we feel like the national media is married to their preseason takes, and a lot of them just didn't do their homework on this Buckeye team, replacing this entire front 4. And they're like, how could you lose 4 guys to the NFL? And return that same type of production. And it's like, you can't. We'll do it even better. And they add an extra sack in those 10 games. They've added 7 more tackles for loss. And you just see the production from it. And it speaks to the culture here at Ohio State and the development in Larry Johnson's room. We've said multiple times that Larry Johnson's greatest recruiting win in the last 4 years was keeping Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry on this roster year in and year out while they had to sit behind JTT and Jack Sawyer. And to see them finally get their opportunity and really ball out, it's been spectacular to watch.
Yeah, and like for us, he's getting a couple more recruiting wins down the line here that we'll talk about later.
Absolutely an action-packed weekend in recruiting, but Q, plenty to get into, so let's not waste any more time talking about condiments, fast food, and all of that jazz.
Get some canes and play the song.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
I said I would do one of these every 100. I think I'm about 50 behind. You guys are awesome. Thank you for 3,700 subscribers. It means a lot to me. Obviously, like being able to talk on a microphone and reach each and every one of you is like a dream I've always had, and I'm enjoying it, chasing it with Ron, with Q, and with Tyler. So again, thank you for 3,700. We couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't do this without you, and I am really greatly appreciative. Make sure you continue to like and subscribe. We're growing. We're trying to continue, pushing out good content, and we've got a couple cool things coming up that we can't wait to share more with you. But right now, obviously, I want to kick it back to Ron and Q. They do a great job every single morning. So make sure, again, you like and subscribe. It's free. It helps us, and we're excited to keep growing.
Excited to keep growing. Chris is a liar. We're at 3808. He's 108 subscribers behind. Make sure you drop a comment and call Chris Drew a liar. We are getting our 3,800 celebration episode tomorrow, but we have a celebration to get into now, and that's our community. A big shout out to Queen Doreen, Asian Posh. We asked our community, if you're going to the game, make sure you share pictures because we want to see what it looks like inside the stadium. We want to see our audience having a great time at the game. And of course, Asian Posh came through with a picture from the game. We also got a bunch of pictures from Emily. We got a picture of Jeremiah on the headset. He must have been talking to Emily.
Bro, did she get closer to the game? I don't believe she's in the stands anymore. Let
us know in the chat, who is the linebackers coach, James Laurinaitis or Emily?
She sits too high now to be the Connor Stallion. So that appears, she sits too low to be Connor Stallion. She can't see the signals because she's standing behind the players.
A couple more great shots. We get to see the infamous pen in action with Matty P down on the sidelines. Look at this shot, dude. These are professional photos.
Yeah, I'm also wondering what camera she got.
I don't know if this is from a camera or a phone. Whoops. Getting a little ahead of ourselves. But yeah, a big shout out to Posh. A big shout out to Emily. Always coming through and representing for the Dead Airheads at the game and sharing their photos from the game. Q, before we get into this week's game, we had some bold predictions last week and some over-unders. I see a little bit more green on this list than last week. I believe we set our over-under of combined wins for between predictions and over-unders at 6.5 between the two of us. I'm looking at the recap right now. We only got 4.
We competed. We just came up a little short.
Exactly. So if you bet on this and pick the under, you were right. And given our performance the previous week, the under would have been the home run pick. Q, let's get into it. I had 2 sacks for K-Mac. I don't believe the Buckeyes had a single sack in this game, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, is that right there?
I checked. I didn't see any.
Isaiah West touchdown. I believe that was my pick as well.
Mm-hmm. The first 4.
Hit. The first 4 me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I hit on that one. I missed on Ian Moore played 50% of the offensive snaps. I did not see him out there a ton. I believe he played more in the second half, but definitely did not hit that 50% mark. I had special teams or defensive touchdown. I'm not going to lie. I was leaning more defensive touchdown, but man, Lorenzo coming through and breaking the record, see, and that's how long it's felt. It felt like it deserves a record. Maybe put a banner up for it. It's been so long since the Buckeyes had a kick return all the way back in 2010 by Whippeal legend
Jordan Hall.
There we go. So I actually did get that one. I had Miley Graham touchdown. He did have a lot of snaps and played a solid game. No touchdown. 2 sacks by Kenyatta Jackson and Caden Curry. That was Q's pick.
Yeah, did not happen. I also had Lincoln throwing a touchdown, which didn't happen. But I will say, he did throw some good balls on Saturday. I thought he looked good throwing the ball, so something to keep an eye on. And then UCLA under 180. That was the bold pick. We were close. In the 180 total yards. They finished with 220. If they didn't actually cook the second team offense and drive the field a couple times, the second team defense drive the field a couple times. We were there. So they had no sacks, so that didn't help either.
I don't want to pat myself on the back, but on my radio interview last week on ESPN Lima, I said my score prediction was 44-7. That's not bad. That's very ballparkish.
Let's see. You're in there. Put it on the bold predictions.
Yeah, next week I'm gonna have to start putting my score prediction on the bold prediction. The next one that we have is Nico over under 46.5 rushing yards. And Nico did not play, so we hammered that one.
We hit it.
Green. Leading rusher for the Buckeyes. I believe I said.
Yeah, I don't know who you said was going to be the leading rusher. No, I didn't. I say pick a guy. I said pick a guy, not Bo Jackson, who's going to lead in rushing. I think that was the question.
And I would have definitely went with Isaiah West. I think we both ended up landing on Bo Jackson. I'm giving us that one. We're going to have to go back and rewatch that, but I don't know. I think we both Bo Jackson.
Second. Well, we knew Bo Jackson was going to lead in rushing, so we said not picking Bo Jackson. I think Isaiah West was both our picks. And let me see. I got the stats of it. Hold on. I
believe that is what prompted my give me my life jacket. I'm swimming back to James Peoples Island comment, because I've been seeing all over the place. Ron, are you ready to give James Peoples credit? And we're going to talk about it later in the show. We're never wrong. We're just early. I saw this coming, and I was like, before people were all over my head, I'm like, I was wrong about James Peoples, and I wrote him off way too early, because the way he's been progressing week in and week out, that's a guy that I think is going to find a way to contribute if he keeps running the ball the way he's been running the ball.
No, I don't know. There's a prophet on the show, and somebody said James Peoples is going to end up as a big part of the offense next season. I don't know who said that, but they just happen to see things. You know what I'm saying? Arvell Reese. You know what I'm saying? Because some people have called it early. There's a guy by the name of Josh Proctor. Everyone wrote off. Somebody said he was going to have a big season.
I wouldn't. All right, we're getting carried away. If that's where we're stretching to give ourselves props, okay.
I'm just saying.
That was the Space Jam reach of the day, brought to you by
All pro safety, Josh Proctor.
Oh my God. Let's move on. Leading, we had 2.5 sacks. No one did that, not even the Buckeyes as a whole team. That missed. We had 6.5. Did we have over 6.5? We had over 6.5 tight end catches.
Yes. Green.
We hit that. We had under 3.5 tight ends with a catch. How many had catches?
Oh, do we have under? Yeah, only 2. So we hit that. I forgot.
Okay, so all right, are you trying to
sabotage the show? Yeah.
Trying to sabotage us? It looks like we got 6 and just missed the under. I presented it as much worse. I think we came in right under the under, and my final prediction was 3.5 over 3.5 SFE touchdowns. I believe we had
under that
0.
Yeah, because I forget we picked different ones on there. We just came to agreement for most. So.
Yeah, no SFE touchdowns for the Buckeyes on Saturday, so well under their Q. much better than the previous week, and we almost hit the over. I think we're doing better. I think we're going to keep the line at 6.5 on Friday and make that the new goal and see if we can hit. But we also got to make sure that we don't try to, sneak in some soft, bold predictions. We got to.
I mean, my predictions usually are pretty bold. Ron is like Julian saying one completion on Saturday.
Julian saying over 10 completions. Smash it.
Thank you. First drive, smashed.
If I was setting the lines for our sports book, we'd go bankrupt.
We'd be ESPN bet.
Q, I wanted to pivot to the AP poll, and man, shocker here. Buckeyes are still on top. You gotta love it. And I used to get excited about the AP poll coming out on Sundays, and now I don't even look at it until it's time to do the show because it's like I know where my team is.
just wanna see what happens.
The first thing that I notice when I look at this, no Pitt at the bottom.
Yeah, no Pitt. I'm saying the coach say they go if they lost 3 to 10, it didn't matter. I thought they were going for that the way the first quarter was going. I was like, he's trying.
Bro, first coach to say hang 100 on me.
He was really going for it, but yeah, Pitt still all the play for the ACC, which was the plan apparently. So we'll see how that goes. Ron, I do want to ask you: do you still have that Dan Orlovsky clip just in the bank by chance? Is that still in the assets?
I actually don't. I deleted it when we were prepping for the show today, and I have a new laptop.
Perfectly fine. I just want to know where Dan Orlovsky is right now because absolutely Saturday, a absolute pitiful performance by the number one team in the nation, who is number one in every single metric except playing any team that's ranked. I want to know what happened with Texas A&M.
Q, we spent the last week warning people about how fraudulent this A&M schedule is, and then they go out there and play one of our fraud alert teams, and if you look bad against this team, we raise our eyebrows at you, and what do they go out there and do? They go out there and look like a potentially fraudulent team.
Yes, headline in blaring lights fraudulent. And I know people would be like, well, they came back and won. That's a bad football team in South Carolina. Like, they did absolutely – look, the offense in South Carolina was so bad in the second half that we're sitting there. I'm at the bar watching the game with my friends, and we're talking. Every time we look away, like, we never saw South Carolina with the ball in the second half. That is how bad their offense were. I think I saw them have one possession. And because I would turn and they would lose the ball so fast, I'm like, what happened? Did Texas A&M score? Did they kick the ball back to Texas A&M? Like, that's how bad South Carolina was in the second half offensively. And they find a way to squeak out a win against a team who's probably getting their coach fired. And if he's not, he should be fired. And should have lost to Tech at the beginning of the season, like I said.
Q, I didn't even think we would be able to figure out a way to get this done this early into the show or into the season, but man, we just loaded this clip and it couldn't be more perfect.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
They definitely have that in Texas. I'll tell you that.
I honestly, Q, I think they're going to fool us again, and people are going to start believing in Texas A&M again, and they're going to show their true colors when they face off against a real team.
Yes, don't believe in A&M. Don't believe in Texas without the A&M, because neither of them held themselves in glory this weekend, man. But yeah, this A&M team, I just like. Again, I'll say this, and this is Dan Orlovsky. If you're watching, you should be. Texas A&M seems like a decent football team. They haven't played anyone. Let's see what happens when they play somebody. Then we can talk about how good they are. I'm about to, after the show, I'm about to search the internet to see if he had any thoughts after the game. Somebody needs to ask him. Just like all five.
Do I need to edit your face over Ryan Day? I'd like to know where Dan Orlovsky is right now.
Oh, I said that on Twitter. It was a tweet over the weekend. I would like to know where he is right now for that nonsense that you are putting to the American public. Like, bro, I swear, these people on ESPN cannot be more wrong. Like, they have had some of the worst college football clips that I've seen in like 10 years. Like, they're just this season alone. It's been terrible.
It makes me feel good about like our takes and how few awful takes we've had this season. I mean, have our fair share, but I mean, they get paid way more than we do. And maybe we're doing it wrong, Q. Maybe we need to make our takes way worse, and that's how you get paid more.
Unfortunately, Ron, I think we usually act with a level of common sense. Like, I feel like even with our takes where we miss or we're off, it's like, well, I feel like Texas should be at least a decent team. You look at their talent, like, should be all right. Okay, they're bad. We never were like, this is the greatest team since the 85 Bears. And that's like, it's like, there's no proof of that. Like, they just have talent and we trust their coach is at least competent to do his job. It's like, some of these takes are just ridiculous, man. I can't get over it.
I can't get over it. And we talked about it last week about how the narratives were going to shift as soon as if Texas won that game. We see Texas drop down to 17, what looked like a big win for the Buckeyes. They go and lose to Georgia. Q, were you surprised by that result at all?
I think this is one of the better versions of Georgia we've seen in a game this year, which I think Georgia's a good team. I don't think they've been the Georgia of the recent years. I think they're a level down from that. But, I mean, I thought they came out and played a solid game. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought Texas was going to show up. I thought they were on a decent streak. I thought they were going to perform better than that. Obviously, we've talked about it. They say Ryan Day has a Michigan problem. Kirby has a Alabama problem. Well, Sark has a Georgia problem because they've embarrassed his program 2 years in a row. So I don't know what they eat before the game against Georgia, but you might need to change up the diet. You might need to change up the week of practice because last year they were the number 1 team, and Georgia made them look like they should barely be in the top 25. And they were the number 10 team this week against a Georgia team that's probably a level down, and they still made them look like they probably shouldn't be in the top 25.
Yeah, I mean, this Texas team, you wanted to believe mainly for Ohio State narratives, and they go out and they lay an egg against Georgia and get embarrassed again, which is becoming, it feels like, an annual tradition for this Texas program. And at one point, do you have to ask the question, can Sark win the big game?
Is he going to have the chance is the question. He's got A&M coming down the line, which I'm not going to put a lot of faith in Texas for that. So they're not going to be a big game. If we sitting at home watching the big game, it will be the problem. They don't have to worry about winning it because they're going to be watching the playoffs on TV. So, I don't think they're going to have that, at least a chance of that this year. I mean, we will see. I've been telling Ron and talking about it, so we'll throw it in the community. But I'm really been helped on going to see Ohio State play at Texas next year. So that might be the next big game after they lose to Texas A&M in a couple weeks, which is likely to happen. So we'll see if they can win the big game there. Hopefully not. But this season, I don't think there's going to be any big game wins. The only one, and you know, it's funny, Ron, we were talking about it. It was basically the Red River rivalry show-off versus the top of the SEC for the last few years. And they came and played Michigan and Ohio State. Oklahoma held it down. They go to play the top of the SEC. Oklahoma held it down. And thoughts before Texas had got there was, is Oklahoma going to be ready? Because we feel like Texas is. And it's like Oklahoma's faring a little bit better right now in the SEC.
We'll get to Oklahoma in a second, but we got to get to that bozo Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky doesn't like our schedule.
The least tested number 1 team in the history of college football, they played nobody. We have no idea who Ohio State is, down 4 in the fourth quarter.
You told me that Arch Manning was winning the Heisman preseason. Dan Orlovsky said that. He told us that this Texas team was going to be good. And then when we beat them, you go, oh, never mind.
And it's not like they're not Penn State. They're top 10 in the country.
No, Q. We have to lie about Texas until they beat Georgia, and then we have to come up with a new lie about why it doesn't matter that they lost to Ohio State. You ready? I hate being, spoiler alert, everybody plug their ears if they want to hear the media propaganda next week and be surprised by it. But For those that want to be in the know, if Texas beats Georgia, the new narrative is that was Arch Manning's first start, and Texas is now the hottest team in the country. Ohio State doesn't want to see Texas in a rematch. Sark goes out there and lays an absolute egg. But now we just get to anoint Georgia for an amazing win over a top 10 team.
Ron, watching that clip, he said, we don't know who Ohio State is down for in the fourth quarter. Well, I know who Texas A&M is down 27 to South Carolina at half. I don't have to answer that question anymore. I know what that looks like.
Bro, they're tested. Heisman moment. I'm surprised they didn't give Marcel Reed the Heisman despite all of his interceptions during that game.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, the narratives will spin. I might watch some ESPN this week, but go ahead before I interrupt it.
Well, you brought up Oklahoma. They get a signature win over the Alabama Crimson Tide, and Chris Drew did an episode reacting to how Alabama fans are taking the loss.
Hey, I bet your asshole wide open. I'm on.
What? Oklahoma handed Alabama their second loss of the year in upset fashion, and you know what that means.
Came into the motherfucking chat one fucking time when Ty threw that fucking interception. You never came back. Not one time. I done told you about your motherfucking self. You always coming up in the motherfucking chat when something bad happened with Alabama, but long as they in the league or making a comeback, your bitch ass, just like I'm telling you, your bitch ass don't even come back on.
So Oklahoma just
Jesus Christ.
So after the show, be sure to check that out because it was an absolute meltdown to be expected. It felt like this Alabama team had things rolling, but it was always in the back of both of our minds. If they lost to your Florida State Seminoles, how good could this team actually be? I know they got a lot better, but how much better were they getting better from if they lost to Florida State? Like, where was the starting point for this team? And to see them go out there and lose to this Brett Venables coach squad, it goes back and reinforces my overall belief that no one's good.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama, and I've given them a lot of prop this year. I thought Ty Simpson was balling mostly through the season. They did have that one scare at South Carolina, which apparently South Carolina finds a way to fumble wins, and that's why their season has been so bad because they pretty much had two on the line against the 3 and 4 team ranked team in the country of last week, and kind of have fumbled both of those. But yeah, I thought there was a team in the SEC that you would worry about. It was Alabama. I thought they had the talent. I thought they were playing pretty good football, somewhat consistent. That I watched that, and the thing is, I would say, yeah, you're able to afford it. This is back-to-back losses against Oklahoma, isn't it? They lost Oklahoma last year, right?
I'm not 1,000% sure.
Can you check that for? I'm pretty sure they did. But, I mean, I will say, like, after watching Tennessee, Oklahoma just a week ago, I don't have faith this Oklahoma team is really that good of a team. I think they're solid.
Yeah, they lost 24-3 last year.
Yeah, I was pretty sure they beat them back-to-back now. So, I mean, does DeBoer have Oklahoma problem? Anyway.
I have some stats for this game, Q, real quick, that I found pretty shocking. Alabama lost this game despite having 23 first downs versus Oklahoma's 12. Oklahoma only passed for 212 yards, while Alabama passed for 406. Or, I'm sorry, Alabama had 406 total yards, while Oklahoma only had 212. Alabama had 326 passing yards versus Oklahoma's 138. Both teams struggled to run the ball. Alabama 80 yards, Oklahoma 74. And Alabama, obviously the biggest deciding factor, 3 turnovers versus Oklahoma's 0.
Yeah, turnovers will lose you games. They clearly outplayed them for the most part, just couldn't hold on to the ball. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty surprising loss that I can think about over the last few weeks. We've had some shocking, like, bad games from teams, but, like, it's a pretty shocking loss. I had some stock in this Alabama team. Clearly now they're at the 10. We'll see what they do in the playoffs, but I'm with you. I don't know who is good. Like, do I put my faith back in Georgia now? I haven't had faith in all season. don't really want to do that because I just don't think this is the Georgia team of old. Texas A&M, who I said, they haven't played anybody, but they've looked good doing it, which they should. Doesn't look good still playing nobody. So it's like, man, Ole Miss just find ways to survive. So it's just like, man, I don't know. It's like, should we move the Big 12 above the SEC? Like, at least those teams look consistent. I really don't know what's going on with SEC right now. Again, we will figure it out, but I'm looking now and I'm like, I don't know how to rank these teams being realistic. I know how to rank these teams being biased and just forgiving. Like, how is Texas A&M above Georgia? Can anybody answer that? Like, I understand Georgia hasn't played great, but Texas A&M has played nobody. Like, I don't know how these rankings work.
I'm not exactly sure how they work either, but I know the only thing that does work is the Buckeyes at number 1. Q, a couple more things that I want to hit on before we move on. Your Utah Utes at 13, knocking on the door of a playoff spot. I know you love to see that. And then you see Miami sneaking ahead as now the highest ranked ACC team. Q, are you buying Hurricane stock as a potential playoff team?
No. Miami's not making out the season without 3 losses. I have a little bit of reputation I have left. They have another one in them. I actually watched a little bit of the NC State game, and I think CJ Bailey thought he enrolled in Miami because that's how he was playing. He absolutely was hitting DBs in stride, and I do mean in stride. Go watch the highlights. They don't show up in the first 2 minutes of the highlight. He did not have a great game, and they just went down 17-0. And the Miami defense was really outscoring Miami offense. So that's how bad that was. So not a good game by NC State. Still didn't see a Noah Rogers appearance, so I'm sad.
Q, I wanted to pivot to this question that I saw Brandon Walker ask on the timeline. Would anybody be opposed to a playoff of Texas Tech, Notre Dame, and 10 Big Ten SEC teams, or we could just keep pretending G5 and ACC deserve a guaranteed spot? Q, I saw someone quote tweet this and say, just say you hate the sport and you only care about logos. Q, I would say I completely disagree with that take of criticizing Brandon Walker. If you actually love the sport, you can acknowledge that the ACC is a dog shit conference and doesn't deserve an automatic bid right now until they level up the play in their conference. And I also would say, same with the G5. I don't want to see any of these teams play. I want to see the top 12 teams play. I don't care what conference they come from. I don't care if there's a year where there's 9 SEC teams and 3 Big Ten teams is the playoff. I don't care. Give me at this point, when you're so far removed from what we actually believe, maybe 6 teams that can actually win a national championship, and you've already ballooned the playoff out to 12, I don't need any more charity work type of teams in the conference. Into the playoffs. We already have 4 to 5 teams that objectively probably shouldn't even be competing for a national title because they're not good enough. Give me the 12 best teams. I don't care what conference they're from. And I think people that think that we should have these participation trophy ass auto bids, I think they've lost the plot. Like, we've already have too many teams competing for a national championship. Why should we give these auto bids?
Yeah, I agree. The way the AC is looking muddied right now, but the fall of Clemson, we usually had Clemson will be good, and then, everybody else sucks. We don't have to worry about it because it'll be Clemson. Since they fell off, it's really muddied the waters. The Pitt coach saying ridiculous stuff, talking about how good the ACC is, but no, they definitely need to level up. And if they don't care if they lose 100 to Notre Dame, then we don't need the ACC in it really at all. The G5 this year, there's not a good G5 team, so I definitely agree with that one. I would say the Big 12 deserves a little more respect, at least put Big 12 champion. I think the Big 12 has 3 teams that can maybe compete. I don't know. I'm still hating on BYU a bit. I'm pumping Utah. I've started the Buckeye Roast with 1 team. I'm hitting the Buckeye Roast with about 14 teams now that I'm all fans of. But, I think the Big 12 deserves a little bit more respect. But year in, year out, I would be opposed to that. Maybe not Texas Tech, but you put in Big 12 champion. I'm not opposed with the way it's looking right now.
Absolutely. I'm completely for getting rid of the auto bids and just straight seeding the top 12 teams. I know they'll never go for it because, that would be the official end of the ACC right there. But personally, I don't care. I just give me the 12 best teams. Q, you know something that I do care about? Right now, we're about the 40-minute mark, and on average, when I'm watching the show, there's usually about 100 people watching live at this point and about 20 likes on the video, and I just personally have to say,
I can't believe how selfish you all are.
like the video. It costs you nothing. It is free. It helps us a ton, and we have a message from our sponsors before we talk about this massive recruiting weekend for the Buckeyes.
I said I would do one of these every 100. I think I'm about 50 behind. You guys are awesome. Thank you for 3,700 subscribers. It means a lot to me. Obviously, like being able to talk on a microphone and reach each and every one of you is like a dream I've always had, and I'm enjoying it, chasing it with Ron, with Q, and with Tyler. So again, thank you for 3,700. We couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't do this without you, and I am really greatly appreciative. Make sure you continue to like and subscribe. We're growing. We're trying to continue, pushing out good content, and we've got a couple cool things coming up that we can't wait to share more with you. But right now, obviously, I want to kick it back to Ron and Q. They do a great job every single morning. So make sure, again, you like and subscribe. It's free. It helps us, and we're excited to keep growing.
Q, what the hell is going on?
That was like a remix.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Dead air, Q. We are back, and it was a massive recruiting weekend for the Buckeyes. Multiple booms, multiple flips. Q, do you want to talk about some of the recruiting pickups for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, so I'll start the most latest one with Nick Lauder, tight end flip from Louisville in 2026. Seems like Ohio State's really pushing this 26 class. I mean, maybe there'll be a cornerback we're talking about soon who's currently committed to Florida. Crystal ball just hit, so they will be talking about that soon. But Nick Lauder, opposite tight end. Keenan Bailey, I think, does a great job getting the assets in this tight end room and just making the best of it. And you see right now, I mean, we play 17 tight ends. So let's add one more and play 18. They're going to play, and we're on developing that room. So shout out to Coach Key and shout out to Nick Lauder for his commitment and the flip. Moving on, Dre Quinn, the guy Ohio State has been talked about for a while, was a Clemson commit. Ohio State was really after this guy. I watched his tape over the weekend. He has really good athletic upside. I know Juck did a good video on him about his size. I think he's about 6'4", 225, 230. So maybe a little smaller than a typical defensive end, but he's super athletic, man. Also plays tight end. If you get a chance, check out his tape because he's a super athletic guy. So interested to see what Matt P and the gang can do with him as he gets into the room. And then the biggest one over the weekend, we move all the way to 2027 with Eli Johnson. Obviously, safety, he's ranked 10 in the composite, 114 overall, which is a big-time get for Ohio State. Obviously, that safety room has really leveled up over the years. I mean, we remember the dog days of the safety room. Well, no longer the DB room. Coach Walt, all them won't settle for it. So we got another commitment there. So a big-time weekend for Ohio State. And we talked about, man, how many more commitments are we going to get this season? They are really ratcheting it up. I don't know, Ron. Did they go to the couch cushions? They pulled money out of somewhere? Because, man, Ohio State is really, I don't know when the last time we really seen a streak like this. Like, maybe not with maybe the big names, but, I mean, I think of, like, the streak of 3 wide receiver commitments with obviously Cardinal Tate, Noah Rogers, Brandon Ennis. Like, I remember that time when we were on a run, and before that, it was really like the COVID run with Travion Henderson and those guys when they all committed. And it felt like it was like bam after bam after bam. So, yeah, we are on a elite recruiting heater right now. And for the first time in a long time, Hayes Fawcett did not lie. Most importantly.
Right? The Hayes Fawcett curse may be gone because he hinted at a Buckeye recruiting heater, and boy, are they on one. And we've talked about how in years past, the Buckeyes have been the ones getting flipped. In this cycle, they are the aggressors, and they continue to add to this 2026 class, and you love to see it. The Buckeyes also continue to stack talent in that 2027 class, which is up to the number 3 class in the country. The Buckeyes are up to 6 commits in that class with 5-star Jameer Brown, 4-star Eli Johnson, quarterback Brady Edmonds, Angelo Smith, younger brother of Jeremiah Smith, Mason Wilt, hometown kid, Ohio kid out of St. Clairsville, and Kellen Weimer as well out of Liberty Center, Ohio. The Buckeyes 2027 class looking good early on, and then the Buckeyes closing out hot in the 2026 class. You absolutely love to see it from the Buckeyes in a class where people were worried as they started to flirt with falling out of the top 10. They are now flirting with the top 5, right where they belong. And it doesn't seem like the Buckeyes are done recruiting. So that is going to be something that we continue to keep an eye on throughout the season. The Buckeyes did play football this past weekend. They get a major win, 48-10 over the UCLA Bruins, moved to 10-0 and 7-0 in the Big Ten. UCLA without starting quarterback Nico Iamaleava, the Buckeyes without starting wide receiver Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith limited in the second half. The Buckeyes still go out and handle business. Bo Jackson has a dominant game with 112 yards, 7.5 yards per carry. James Peoples adds 2 touchdowns as he starts to burst on the scene for the Buckeyes. Isaiah West continues to impress with 7.6 yards per carry, leading the Buckeyes. Overall dominant performance from this Ohio State team. The defense looked dominant. We're going to talk about their PFF grades later in the week. You saw a lot of guys get a lot of opportunities. You saw a lot. If this felt like a game that was a peek into the future for the Buckeyes with as many young guys we got to see. Chris and I did a post-game reaction on Bleacher Report. If you missed that, you can check that out right on the YouTube channel. But Mondays right here on the Buckeye Roast are for Q's thoughts on the game. Q, what'd you think?
Well, I have to tell you, I got nothing for special with y'all. Y'all seen the same thing I did. I mean, they were dominant per usual on Saturday. It's business as usual. I mean, I think my biggest highlight was we finally got a kick return. To the first one Ron brought up earlier from since Jordan Hall in November of 2010. Lorenzo Styles absolutely returning a kick. We talk about return game. We talk about every time we get a recruit that's kind of dynamic. It's like, what would he look like in the return game? So that would be great. Yeah, I thought James Peoples was a guy I kept an eye on. I want to see if he's able to get back into the running back room. Obviously, we know the big game. He had some highlight plays. I thought he ran the ball well. Isaiah West finally hit on my 30-plus yard run. He had like a 33-ish yard run somewhere in there. So finally had that as one of my bold predictions from before. Yeah, I thought the offense, it was fun to see the wide receiver room and see just the guys in depth. I thought Bryson Rogers looked pretty good. So as he started to get more game time, I'm liking seeing him play a little bit. So as he's getting open, we obviously seen some chemistry issues. Those guys haven't played a lot in game action with the backup wide receivers and obviously Julian Sand. So we did get to see Ryan Day and just his intensity on the sideline. Like every time Julian Sand come over there, what are you doing? It's great to see, and it just shows you the level of focus by this team. I thought the offense played well. I'm looking forward to the All-22, looking at this offensive line. But, I mean, yes, it's UCLA. We called them the worst team in Power 4, which they were before grabbing a couple wins. So maybe they're one of the worst teams in Power 4 right now. But, yeah, I thought the offensive line at times looked pretty good. They opened some holes. Like they look like they're getting their work in, especially with vanilla play calling. I don't think the play calling was great, but I thought it was, well, I'm going to say it's not bad, but it's just there's nothing like crazy to it. They just went simple. But I thought it worked. I thought the offensive line played pretty well. And obviously the running backs continue to perform. C.J. Donaldson is finding his way out of the lineup. So I think they're just going all in on the younger backs, which I'm pretty sure everybody in the Ohio State fan base is pretty much clamoring for at this point. So it's a good shift move there. And also, like, again, Max Clare in the pass game, it looks like we finally shifted to, like, we're going to throw it to a tight end. His last name might be Claire. Like, we're just going to get him the ball. And obviously Brandon Ennis with some great catches, man. Some of the balls Julian Sand threw this weekend, the catch by Jeremiah, some of the catches by Ennis, like, bro, through a phone booth. Like, there was some great catches and completion throws by him. So I thought it looked pretty good. And just seeing the depth and seeing Mylan Graham, man, I would love to get Mylan Graham in the screen game. Obviously, we throw one screen at him, and he looks absolutely dynamic. And I'm like, all right, can he run the sweeps? Like, can we get him involved in the screen game? Because he looks dynamic when he touches the football and stuff like that. But the defense, man, it was great to see the young guys play. The starters really gave up not much. And obviously they didn't have Nico, so there wasn't much they were going to give up. A lot of penalties by UCLA, which helped them set back a little bit. But, I mean, the defense was dominant. And I thought Fahim Delane had a really good game, like a sneaky, really good game. Some of the tackles, his speed and closing speed and making tackles over there, I thought was really nice to see. But, yeah, man, overall, and Will Smith Jr., he just pops off the screen. Like, every time I watch that guy play, he's just that was Ron's key from the beginning of the year. He just jumps off the screen. I don't know what it is about him, but he finds a way to show up. He goes, hey, I'm playing. Watch me. So I thought he had a good game as well. Devin Sanchez got tested a little bit, which is nice to see. They had him running around, chasing guys all over the field. So there's some stint of game time for him. Will definitely help him in the future. But it was good to see the young guys, man. Riley Pettijohn with a hit in the backfield. Obviously, he was getting close to getting that first Ohio State sack. But, yeah, it was basically a week 3 game. Get the young guys in there. Lincoln had some good throws, like I said earlier, and watch them go ball. So without seeing the all-22, down in performance by Ohio State per usual. Give credit to UCLA. Not a good football team. They showed up and tried their best. But, again, the game was over before it started.
Yeah, I didn't hit as crazy on my Will Smith investment like you did on your Arvell Reese, but I did pretty well with that one. I think he's going to continue to develop and a guy that I recognized. It felt like the recruiting services and a lot of fans just stopped paying attention to him after he committed to the Buckeyes and didn't really observe the leap that he took as a prospect as a senior in high school and really elevated to, I mean, him and K-Mac were within 10 spots of recruiting rankings in high school. So a guy that, really took on the challenge of elevating his game and you've watched him continue to get better year in and year out. Q, I wanted to ask you, a long running joke on this program was that Nico is out there throwing to us. Q, do you have a guess on how many receiving yards UCLA's third wide receiver had yesterday?
No, I don't have it. The only wide receiver I really knows was Nico Flores. And that's because at one time we were recruiting him in that Carnell Tate class. And I was like, oh, he's at UCLA. Okay. I didn't know that. That was like the only person I noticed. So I'm going to say 15 yards.
I believe Mikey Matthews was their third leading receiver with 18 yards.
Yeah, I was close. Yeah, they really didn't give up much, man. I hate to tell you. And they were close to a couple of interceptions that we probably should have had. That would have been Ron. If Ron would have hit the double, he would have had a defensive touchdown and special teams touchdown. They got Jermaine Matthews got a little closer to that one because there was no one in front of him. So yeah, he was kind of he could have been throwing to wide receivers much better than us, and against his Ohio State secondary, it looks like us out there trying to get open. So, no critique to those guys, but not many people get open against Ohio State. Like, it feels like we just need to watch the front seven because nothing's happening in the back end.
It is the Seatbelt Society back there. Q, that's all I have for today's show. The Buckeyes are 10-0 as they move into the Rutgers game later in the week. We will have my guy Luke on the show, the one and only Rutgers fan I think I know on the entire internet, but we're going to get a breakdown of this Rutgers team and what to expect on Saturday. We usually don't talk to people from other teams unless they're my friends. So Rutgers is one of those weeks. I had people over for the pick game on Saturday, and it's a bunch of people from Pittsburgh. None of us Pitt fans. There's Rutgers fans, there's Penn State fans, Ohio State fans. We're watching the game. No one cares. No one cares about Pitt. Everybody has their own agenda of who they're rooting for. I wanted to see the Notre Dame upset, force them to get into a conference, but didn't happen. But as Pat Narduzzi would say, they're just trying to win the ACC, so that really doesn't matter, even though it might have shot the confidence of the entire team, but who cares? Who cares?
The first question after the game should have been like, you weren't lying about the ACC thing, weren't you?
Or I would have asked, for you disappointed they didn't score 100 after you tried to let them?
You're an honest guy, Coach. You hear nothing about this Notre Dame game.
That's one thing that you could take away from that, is that Pat Narduzzi means what he says and clearly did not care about that game. Q, I don't want to talk about that bozo anymore. Their season's over unless they beat Miami. That's their final hoorah, in my opinion. So let the people know where they can find you talking about a team that actually has things to think about during this postseason.
I promise you, we care about this Rutgers game. And if you want the preview to that, no better place than the Buckeye Roast to catch that one. 3,800 subs in a little bit. Are we on our third month yet? I don't think we're through it. I think we're on our third month. So we're on our way through our third month. That is amazing. Greatly appreciate y'all. for that. I beat Chris Drew to it, but I'm sure his video will be up soon. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff coming down the line. So we want to appreciate all the members and what you do. Chris hit me over the weekend with a fire idea leading up towards the end of the season for us to do some content. So can't tell you what it is right now. It is in the works, but some good stuff working behind the scenes. So make sure.
Chris called me about that secret project, and I'm so disappointed about both of you for not guessing what I would have picked in that scenario. It was the most obvious choice ever. And when we talk about it on the show, you guys will all get it. But we do have a big surprise, tons of content coming up for the Michigan game. And speaking of that team up north, Chris has a video coming out tomorrow reacting to their media post Northwestern barely win. I don't even know. Can you call that a win?
No.
Northwestern survival.
If they score after it hits 000s, it doesn't count. Yes.
Oh man, can you let the people know where they can find you? Did you do that already?
No, not yet. Yeah, if you want to find me, Cityboy Quitting on Twitter, Flying Johnson on Instagram, but most importantly here on the Buckeye Roast, hit that like button. We were trialing a little bit on likes. I was going to make Ron change his name this time, so he doesn't want to do it. So make sure you hit that like button. Do that. Make sure to comments. Appreciate all the stuff in the community. All the pictures was awesome. Great to see that every weekend. I'm going to try to hit another game before the season ends, so I will share my pictures if I'm able to do that before the season is over. But make sure you do all that good stuff. Like the video, hit the sub button. Ron, where can I find you at?
You can find me right here Monday through Friday for the Buckeye Roast at 10 a.m. right here with my guy Q, Monday through Friday on the Dead Air Sports Network. You could also catch me on the Bleacher Report app, post games with Chris Drew for instant reactions. Q, I hear creators say all the time, I'm above begging for likes. I'm not. We need likes on these videos. It helps us a ton. When we, and like, it is a proven fact, when our lives wrap and we have 50 plus likes, the videos boom. But when I sit here and I talk to everybody in the chat, there's hundreds of people watching live. And then we wrap with like 30 likes. What is up with that, Q? I can only assume one thing.
I can't believe how selfish you all are.
That's the only thing I can come up with. They hate us.
It's either that or they're talking to you during the show. They're like, Ron's good on camera, but he sucks in the IM chat. I was going to like, but now I'm not. Try again tomorrow, sir.
The only thing that I could possibly think of, and this is what I'm going to tell myself, is that everybody's liking the video so many times that they're actually unliking their first like because they're just that faithful, and that's why our likes are down. Everybody's double liking the video, and I just want to let you guys know, while we appreciate the double likes, that does not help. It actually removes the like. So if that is the reason our likes are down and you're double liking the video, we appreciate the support, but one like will suffice. And that's all we're asking for around here. We got some people out here in the community double liking the video, apparently, and that's why our likes are down. So we just kindly ask for one like. And you can also catch me on Twitter. It's at 2Ts, 2_TEES. Q, did you have anything that you wanted to sneak in there before the end?
I was like, it's either that or they like the video early and I say something really fucking dumb. They're like, you know what?
Give me that back. Oh, man, there was a glitch in the system today. It said that we had 125% likes and negative 25% dislikes. And I'm like, I love these metrics. Give me more of these.
Too funny. That's all I got, man.
That's all I have, man. You know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And, of course, OH.
Ayo. The remix.
Podcast. I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
I call a shot. I'm with the murder team. Call a cop. We in the building. Y'all are not. You showing the paper, you gon' ball or not. Jump my balls.
baby. It's champagne. We
I
own
be
that.
fresh as
We own
fuck
that.
when I hit the scene. Everybody know me. 40 tuck in my skinny jeans. I'm so fucking low key. All hundreds, finna go get some cream. This another show week. It's a show week. Out the 7 days, I gotta pick up 40. Mama told me, baby, get you some sleep. Gotta turn down, move slow, please. I go home, rock my son to sleep. Gotta stay awake, get more of these. Nigga, you mad cause you ain't getting no cheese. Whole hood charge you whole fee. Sometimes there's no one to watch over me. Too broke, can't get close to me. Send an op, say hello to me. Never respect when approaching me. And don't act like you don't know it's me. Know that bitch somewhere close to me. And I ain't got no reason to be on that. You the one avenge your homie. Even though I really be on that. Beat a nigga up if you want that. You can't even buy a whole lunch, Jack. Better get a clock and punch that. Used to run my hood like a rug rat. We went to war with one guy. Ain't lying, we'll go, they come back. All on defense, we bust back. So they want me whack. I take shots out the back of the lag. I spit that shit that you get high to and make you want clap after that. Then drop some shit that make you contemplate on it after the fact. Rap about the shit you living, nigga, what happened to that? I don't give a fuck about the rap game no more, nigga, I'm after the check. I ain't with the rap beef, nigga say my name once, I'm after his neck.
And the last thing, I watched TJ's show last night, Johnny, and TJ was going on and on and on about, it's like they knew our signals. It's like they were coming right at us, like they knew what we were doing. And I paused, and everybody thinks I'm crazy.
That's not good.
But why is Chase Herbstreit on the team? I mean, you can't sign steal anymore. They use the radio. You can't steal that. And the catapult thing, the cloud sharing with the practice videos that OSU tapped into, but that story went away. That just disappeared. You can't, that catapult thing's gone now as well. So how else is Ryan Day going to cheat? I know, let's put Herbstreit's boy on the team. What's he doing there? He's not going to play. He's never going to see the grass. They'll put Warren in before they put in Herbstreit. What, in education? Go to Northwestern. Go to MIT. Why is he at Michigan? Why?
That is a good question.
Why? What's he there for? It's not an education. He ain't playing ball. So what is he there for? And then you look at the Oklahoma game and you look at the Southern Cal game. TJ's right. It's like they knew what we were doing. It's like, oh, okay. So maybe I am crazy, conspiracy theory. But yesterday,
Conspiracy theory.